G'day, Josh here with Chaos Seraph. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing great.
Getting
Time
ready
to talk
to...
about people's bad item choices again.
We're getting ready to jump in, so I'm going to send the start message to both lobbies and we'll kick in. So we are watching Lobby 1, filled with 8 humans. Lobby 2 will have 1 bot, I believe. So let me turn off the room ID blur, not forget to do that this time. All right, so we got some heavy hitters in this lobby. Warrior taking out the previous tournament with a crazy second round in the Classic. Who are we watching on this board so far? Let's watch Warrior early. All right, so Nasty Nate just left a comment on Twitch. Had to add a second bot to room because of a no-show. That's fine. So the second room will have 6 humans, 4 of which will advance, and we'll have the top 4 from this room advancing as well. Have you used the Observer mode yet, Chaos?
Yeah, we used it last time.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was... Typically speaking, when you're playing the boars in round 1, do you find yourself getting 1 item or 3 items more often?
2 is average, I think.
I'm lucky if I get 2. Warrior with an early 2-star Witch Doctor. Any other 2 stars at this point? Guts has found himself a Horn Menace, so round 2 tier 3 is always nice. So given the names in this game, if you had to have an early pick, who are you taking to win this this round?
Turbo, Warrior may be better than Max and Turbo, but it's going to be one of those 2 for sure.
That really was a prolonged battle.
I think anyone's got a chance. So Dapley in the last tournament, which of course was in the middle of the morning for you, like early morning. Doctors from Warrior. Wow.
They must be tampered with.
Think of the early econ as well. Once he sells those off, he's gaining.
So.
Yeah, I'm definitely most familiar with both of their gameplay styles. That's for sure. I've seen more of their game and faced more of them in other tournaments. Speaking of which, we should probably give a shout out to Premier Gaming's co-op tournament taking place. Well, I guess it's tonight for you, but tomorrow morning for me, or is that... Am I getting my time zones mixed up?
Today is Wednesday, so... Or today is Tuesday, so it's on Thursday.
Ah, right, so we're 2 days away from it. But always looking for sign-ups on the Premier Gaming Discord.
No.
So that's what he's aiming for. That's the ideal. Different ELO groups, or what's the? Is he planning on having like a round 1 and a round 2 where winners advance, or what's the intention with the 3 groups?
Possibly, I don't know. I just
Okay.
we were talking about like the formatting and stuff, and he's like, I remember him mentioning like the formatting for the tournament is like based around a 3-group tournament.
Yeah.
We've always done it with 2.
Yeah. Watching that Head Reaper put in massive amounts of damage. So Warrior continues to remain undefeated, as does Kizex. No idea how to pronounce that, but I'll run with Kizex, and Max as well, undefeated at this point. As there is someone next door mowing the lawns incredibly loud. I don't know if you can hear that. That is very frustrating.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Can you do me a favour? I'm just going to go and have a word to them. So I'm going to be AFK for like a minute. If you just want to take over casting, I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, for sure. The only thing is it watches your board, not my, no, not the one I'm watching. So I'm watching Mr. Guts play right now. He's got a really strong 3 set of full warriors. He's beating Chris no problem. Let's see, Dapley is gonna win on his board, I think. It's gonna be close. Warrior beat Ayush, it looks like. Max on his board.
All right, what did I miss? That would have been an absolute pain because the room that I'm in is actually quite close to my neighbour's fence, so it would have been very loud for times there.
Yeah.
So Warrior and Max, your early picks both still undefeated.
Guts has a very strong board. He's got 4 2-stars, 3 of them Warriors. Looks like he's going to end up going Warriors. He's got a couple Assassins.
He's found a second Kraken as well. 2 Generals of War. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He's got the nice CC General or CC Warrior build, which will beat Assassins, so he shouldn't be afraid to sell off the Assassins and then give them to an Assassin player because the CC Warrior build does stand a chance.
Yep. Yeah, so Warrior's going for Assassins, as is Max. Very, very interesting. Let's watch this one on Guts' board, see if he can take out Warrior at this point in time. How many 2-stars did Warrior have? I missed that. Still just the 2 Witch Doctors?
I think Warrior... I know Warrior last board was still using Witch Doctors. I've been watching Guts' board though.
Yeah, and he's absolutely cleaning up Warrior, so Warrior will take some loss of life. Max looks like he's about to lose his first chunk of health too. There we go. So everyone's taken a hit to the face. The game has begun now. Now that everyone's lost some health. We've got DD Chris rocking 2 1-star Devourers, so he's looking for a potential Punisher build, but he's pairing it with Warriors at this stage, which is interesting. A few out there building Riders as well. What do you think of the Punisher versions of Rider and Assassins?
The Punisher Assassin build, I think, is the strongest in the game.
And are you running that with 6 Assassins?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously you're using Devourer and Lilith as 2 of your demons. Who is your 3rd demon in that build?
Another Prince, so that you get Warlock with Misfortune.
Yep, that makes sense. And then you're getting Undead because you've got Stinger out there as well.
Yep.
And because you're rocking Punisher, you've got Nightingale giving you health.
Voodoo Elder instead, though.
Interesting. Just for the Goblin speeded buff?
Yeah, I think the increased damage to Lilith's first crit, first AoE crit, I think is better, so I go with Undead.
Yeah, okay. So I guess it depends on if they're using Head Reaper as their carry or other heroes such as a early 3-star Devourer.
I would still run Undead, even with Head Reaper as my carry. Like, Lilith's crit, even at 2 stars, still good.
Yeah, and it's just so important to the Assassin combo having that armor debuff. So I'm currently watching MaxiD up against Warrior, Assassin battle, and you can see that I'm having lots of server issues as I have a very brief connection error there. Has that been something you've been experiencing, that if you're in an actual game, every now and again you'll just get a brief server issue? Or is that just me?
That's just you. I used to get them every now and then, but like for the last 3 or 4 patches I haven't got one.
Yeah, right. For me, it's been like if I'm in the app, it's fine, but once I jump into a game, it's like every 2nd or 3rd round I get a split-second connection issue. So Kizix has moved up to 1st in terms of health. Oh no, DD Chris not having much early luck.
Guts' build is still very strong.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching DD Chris's board now because he is in very real risk of being eliminated in the next round, depending on who he matches up against.
If I'm not mistaken, Chris is the wife, and DD Viking is the husband.
Okay.
And Chris is the girl.
So Chris does actually have 6 warriors now, but she doesn't have any 2-star heroes. So can she turn that around? I think she's actually sold... my memory says that she was running 2 Devourers at one point, so she's actually sold one of those off as well. Does have 50 crystals, so needs to go all in on leveling now and spinning for 2 stars. No point being eliminated with what is now 69 crystals, so we'll see that. Yeah, the level's happening. Level 8. Does she go all in on level 9 as well?
She can't afford to make a 2-star guru. She needs to level everything up.
Yeah, use the gurus, which is a little bit unfortunate. She doesn't actually have that many pairs on her bench. There's a potential 2-star misfortune.
Find some kind of pairs.
There's a misfortune if she's
Going
quick.
too slow.
Go the misfortune. It's not going to happen.
Boy, she didn't switch Kraken out either. 1-star Kraken is god awful, and Boyd didn't want to give her Warlock, and he's the best unit in the game.
And I think this might be it, looking like getting overrun here from Ayush, who just has too many 2-stars at this point in time. It's just a matter of how... she's not going to be enough. There's going to be absolutely overrun. This will be it for Chris, unfortunately. Always unfortunate to be eliminated with that. Always unfortunate to be eliminated with that many crystals in the bank. Hey, look at the units on the bench. They also collapse, and I don't know if you saw that. That's hilarious. I've never noticed that before.
Yeah. Bench gurus do their death animation when you lose.
That is so funny. Another animation that I absolutely love on this castle board, when you sell a unit back into the well on the right, the water overflows and splashes around. Just a nice little touch.
Oh, I've never noticed. Oh, and you can make the birds fly away.
Yeah, I love being able to do that. So good. There was another splash in the well. Just little touches like that. And I'm really hoping that there's more interactive elements added. So we've got Guts versus Warrior here. Kha'Zix is up against the mirror image. There is a mirror image in play now that we're at an odd number of survivors. Looks like Guts is going to overrun, but how does that Sword Dancer hold up? Actually, it's Sword Dancer versus Sword Dancer at this point, so... Although, look at that turnaround.
He just dodged Head Reaper like 5 times.
That was unreal. But he's not going to be able to dodge that crit. Yeah. So Warrior does get the win there over Guts. Cody was just eliminated as well, unfortunately. So we are back to an even number, which is better in terms of the head-to-head matchups.
Guts got a 2-star Kraken. That's a pretty big upgrade.
Ooh. Yeah, he's got a very nice board. I'm going to check in on Ayush for now, as he's next to potentially be eliminated, down to 15 health now. Does have 6 riders, many of them 2-star. Matched up against Guts. That's an unfortunate matchup at this point in the game for Ayush. Wanted to avoid that matchup at all costs. The General of War stun coming in. It is looking like it's going to be a little bit of an overrun situation, although, as I say that, the riders might be turning the table, and I think they will. Takes out the last Kraken there, so actually ends up dealing a big chunk of damage to Guts.
Riders will survive for a while. This is the point in turbo where they're okay for a bit.
Yeah.
But they're gonna die very soon.
If you are running riders, what are you liking to pair with them? Do you like to go Rider Hunter, Rider Punisher? What's the best secondary combo to be running?
The 2 Oceanborn Hunters.
Okay.
So
with Hog Rider, so you get the Hunter package.
And you take Warlock out, in my opinion, too.
Yep.
Because they don't do high enough damages, like that. The lifesteal is gonna matter, and in an assassin meta, you're never gonna out Warlock a Sword Dancer, so you need to just kill it.
Yeah, I'm with you. So this is a 5v1. How does Sword Dancer fare here? It is only a 1-star Sword Dancer, so you would think the riders have the advantage, and they do. So Ayush actually eliminates Warrior there, which is a surprising turnaround given the start that Warrior had. Wasn't able to cash in on the early economy boost in the 2-star Witch Doctors. So essentially Warrior had the complete opposite luck that he had in yesterday's tournament, or earlier today for those in the States, early this morning. Mr. No Dig, welcome to the stream. Nasty Nate says that the first bot just died in game 2. I think that message was a couple of minutes ago. So game 2 looks like it's taking a little bit longer than game 1 at this stage. How many sword dancers do we have in play at this point in time? Max has a 2-star sword dancer. And that is, given the eliminations that we've had, that's the only active sword dancer right now. Warrior says that was crummy, jam-packed.
I don't know if I totally agree with Guts' decision to drop the assassins, but it's not objectively wrong either.
Sorry, who was that? Dapley?
Guts, he had the sword dancer plus the assassins, and he decided to drop them to go 7 warrior warlock. I don't know if that was correct or not, but
well, we'll get a pretty quick indication of whether it was a good decision against Max and his assassins. 3-star Bionic Ninja in the backline too, 2-star Sword Dancer. Whew, there is a ton of damage coming out of those 2 units right now, and it's looking bad for Guts at this point in time.
Yeah, I think units. Oh, I was gonna say I think units like Void Doom and Frost Lotus and Starhorn are objectively bad against assassins because they jump so quickly.
Yeah.
Like Void Doom's gonna tick on them once, twice maybe, and then they're gonna be gone from where they were when he cast it.
Yeah, very good point. A loss, good evening. So a loss, for those that aren't aware, is participating in the other game at this point in time.
Let's put an end to this.
So Ayushi's...
I was gonna say I think Demon Prince is strong enough to stay in there, and if he gets Misfortune, he's likely to replace Demon Prince because he's not really gonna think about it. But I think Demon Prince is the one that stays, and Void Doom goes out for Misfortune.
Yep. Ayush actually has the mirror match this time, so Ayush will continue to survive.
Yeah. No.
Maxi D currently on 22 health. So it looks like Guts is going to beat up on Dapley here. General of War stun coming in. That's an overwhelming result, dealing a fair chunk of damage there too. So Guts is now number 1 on the leaderboard. We are looking for one more elimination before we have the 4 that will be progressing through. Then it's just a matter of working out the order in which they finish this game, which doesn't mean a whole lot for the second game other than pride. Alt Safety, welcome to the stream. So 6 win streak now for Ayush. He needs to continue that to remain alive down to 15 health, which is 25% of your starting health. It's one of the oddities about Turbo, that when you are on 15 health, it doesn't feel like a whole lot, but it is actually 25% of what you started with.
Guts' unit choices are a bit tilting. He's using a 1-star Lightbringer, which isn't a...
Kizik's there, and Ayush got the win over Dapley too, so now we have Dapley and Kizik's both under 10 health. I'll be watching it on Dapley's board now. Both requiring wins to stay alive. Dapley's gone to level 10. In fact, everyone now is level 10 but Ayush, and that is a trend that I've noticed. Ayush does like to level a little bit slower than everyone else, often focusing on 3-starring, but he doesn't have any of those at this point in time.
You end up getting 2-star Lightbringer, which is strong enough, I guess, to be on his board, but...
So we're going to actually see the bottom 2 matching off against each other. Dapley versus Kizek. One of them will almost certainly be eliminated, and that will be 29 damage. That is a massive chunk. So that does eliminate Kizek and cements our top 4 progressing through to the second round of this Double Trouble tournament. Guts, Maxi D, Dapley, and Ayush will be playing in the Classic round. Ayush down to 5 health now. So bring out the overview board again.
Guts' item choices are a little weird too.
Finally, we got the top-notch guy.
Just noticed a 2-star Shakaraka from Dapley.
He's got... Oh, for Guts' item choices, he's got 4 Spellbanes on a Lightbringer, which can't attack after starting its skill, so that's almost a never do. Even with how strong the skill is, I don't think ramping it up and wasting that is good.
Yeah.
But he also doesn't have anybody as good on. But he's sitting with Void Doom at like no no spell banes. He's got Nether Pin for like one spell bane. He could easily just break his spell banes apart and do a lot more with them. Kraken could use more than one.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's not much of a point in putting that 4th staff on Lightbringer, given what that staff does.
Yeah, it doesn't add any mana. It doesn't even increase her mana gain any further. So it's literally doing absolutely nothing because she can't attack while charging her ultimate.
Yeah, yeah. I will check in on Ayush here, who's now down to 5 health. Dapley on 7, Maxi on 22, and Guts on 27. So it's definitely anyone's game. We have Guts versus Maxi D and Ayush, who's borderline watching, versus Dapley. So once again, the bottom two facing off against each other. Almost certainly going to be an elimination here. It looks like Dapley may have the early advantage. Can Ayush turn the tables? It's definitely not looking like it. The Void Doom ability is dealing so much damage there, and there's a General of War stun. So Ayush finishing in 4th place, but that is enough to progress through to the second round. Ruan, welcome to the stream. Warriors, yes, they counter assassins quite well, so therefore they are very, very decent in an assassin strong meta.
I don't know, Max's assassin just destroyed Guts.
So I think for the Warriors to be winning, they have to be the more expensive build, which isn't the case at this point in time. Maxi D.
Yeah, he's still got the Void Doom, like I was saying, is bad against assassins. He's got a 1-star general still.
Well, it looks like Maxi D, if the assassin rampage continues, maybe eliminating Guts in this particular round. Dapley lucked out and got the mirror. Yeah, it's going to be too much.
Maxi played it smart and 3-starred his Bionic Ninja and left his Sword Dancers 2 for 2. So that they can't get auto execution. Yeah.
Yes, that's a very good point. So I'm going to jump onto Guts' board here. You can see that the for those that weren't aware, the Executioner's ability does silence the highest enemy hero. So if you 3-star Sword Dancer, then it gets silenced by the Executioner.
Oh.
4 undead.
Okay.
Oh, he found the
bad, I guess.
he found
Got the Siren and the
Apocalypse.
Lilith.
This is Max.
Yeah, he got Max and
Multiple
Lilith
3-stars
Siren.
now.
He pulled Venom instead of Siren at first, and I was thinking that was iffy, but he managed to get 3-star Siren, which is ridiculously strong.
He's definitely looking like it's he's in an unlosable position at this point, as he does face the mirror, which obviously doesn't have combos enabled, so that was an incredibly easy win, which means that probably Guts or Dapley is about to be eliminated here. We're watching Guts' board, and he's absolutely getting overrun by Dapley. So we have our final two.
Same position. Yeah, Siren's in the same position that Scourge is in, where it's almost a perma-stun. Scourge does 3.5 seconds at a 5-second cooldown. Siren does 4.5 seconds at a 6-second cooldown.
Where is Yo? Got to find her on the board.
So it's one of the few units that can just beat Sword Dancer in a 1v1.
So this is at a 3-star? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
6-second cooldown, 4.5 second.
4.5 second, yeah.
And it's possibly even better than a stun, because Sword Dancer is dealing damage to your own heroes.
In a 1v1, it counts as a stun. Like, they just sit there and they can't attack you.
Right, yes, of course. So Dapley needs to win this to keep his hopes of winning round 1 alive. But actually, it might happen. It's going to be interesting to see how Sword Dancer survives here. But Sword Dancer is sitting in the middle of that Void ability. Okay. That is going to be the win for Maxi D in round 1. So we have our 4 progressing through to the second round. So I'm going to go and start sorting that out. I'll check in on lobby 2 as well. I believe they're still underway at this point. So let me just quickly finalize the results of this lobby.
Let me check. Yeah, Nasty Need's still in game. I'll go spectate it.
Yeah, I'll jump in shortly as well. I just want to get the results happening in this lobby. So we've got Maxi D going through. We've got Dapley going through. Guts going through. And Ayush also going through.
Oh, the game just ended.
Just ended?
Yeah.
All right, that's good timing. Both games ending at the same time, which means we will get the second round underway very, very quickly.
I got into seeing the death screen for the last 2 players.
Ah, okay. So we're just waiting on the screenshot to come through for the second lobby.
Yeah.
And I will now jump out and create the classic room for everyone to join. So just sending that ID through for all the winners in each lobby.
Max, Dude, and Guts made it. I know Max did.
All right, so screenshot coming through. So we have a loss, CeeLo, Nasty Nate, and Slays in room 2, making it through to the final. Let me go ahead and update that score as well. So first place was a loss. Then it was CeeLo, Nasty and Nate, and finally Slays. Billy, welcome to the stream. So I believe a loss won the second game with according to Nasty Nate, a sick warrior build. Let me jump into a spectator seat here. Almost missed the timing on that. So we're just waiting on, let me check in here. Warrior unfortunately didn't make it through, so Guts did. So let me send the invite to Guts, get him in the room.
It was CeeLo for the other game. Yeah.
There we go. So just to confirm, Maxi D, Dapley, Guts, and Ayush. And then the second room was a loss, CeeLo, Nasty Innate, and Slays. So we can hit begin here. Go ahead and turn off that room blur again. I'm remembering. And jump into the final round, the classic game. Quite a few king ranks. And then CeeLo and Dapley that definitely play less of the classic mode. So we might watch Maxi D early as the winner of the original round that we were casting.
He's got a double Nightingale, so he's going to get to play Punisher Assassins, which is starting to build in the game, so...
Just hope he can find that Devourer. That's the key unit. And if you don't find it, you're in a bit of trouble. If you're in this situation, this is an interesting question, and you start finding demons, such non-assassin demons, such as Nether Prince or Executioner or Scourge, are you picking up those demons in anticipation of the Devourer, or are you waiting until you find Devourer?
I will pick up the Lilith automatically because it's the assassin, and
Yep.
I will pick up Nether Prince. I will never pick up Scourge because it's not in my go-to build, and if I'm not playing Punisher Assassin, I'm still playing Assassin, so picking up Lilith doesn't bother me.
Yep.
And Nether Prince can act as a Warlock in any build as well.
That's a good point.
But most of the time, I don't play the old Punisher build with Scourge, so I'll leave him alone.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I also know at level 8, I can force Devour at any given time. So I will always, as soon as I have enough Nightingales, I will always just force Punisher Assassin at that point. Because at level 8, I'll roll like 50 gold at level 8 until I find Devour, and then I'll pop again.
Yeah. You'll essentially just run Assassins until you can get the all the Punisher pieces in play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there's 8 Assassins now, it's easy enough to just like grab Lilith and then grab 5 other Assassins and wait for the Devour.
5 items from the first 2 creep rounds, so Max, that's unreal luck. One of everything apart from Tome.
Okay, let's see if he does this right.
Where does he equip?
His positioning is already bad. Oh, I guess he's anticipating assassins, but Nightingale should get the 2 tank items. Hog Rider, or not Hog Rider. Stalker Jones should get the 2.
I don't
items.
actually mind. I don't mind the attack items on Nightingale when she's an early 2-star. Once everyone else is 2-starring heroes as well, you'd want to mix it up, obviously. But while she's actually strong, one of the stronger units on the board, can't believe there's 2 2-star Nightingales in play in this battle. But Maxi does come out on top in the first PvP against Slays.
The dagger is fine. I don't think the crit sword's needed on her. The crit sword's better on Stalker Jones.
Yeah.
So that he can, if he gets his bounce, that it does more damage. And she should have the armor. Because you want Hog Rider to die for the CC anyway, and she's the strongest unit on the board, so if she takes one extra auto, one extra auto, it's instantly better.
So based on the pieces that Max is picking up, he actually just left a stinger in the shop. He might be locking that potentially. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that he's actually looking at building Rider Hunter at this point in time as opposed to Assassins.
He prefers that build.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that if you're rocking like 6 Hunters, 4 Riders, then that actually matches up quite favourably against Sorcerers in the end game.
I think that's the problem. That's why the 6 Rider, 3 Hunter is better.
Yeah,
because
okay.
You're getting your 3-star squads that way because you're focusing on your Riders, not your Hunters.
Yeah.
And you're also taking Kraken and Shakaraka, so you're not wasting any gold on them early. So that if you decide to play Warlocks or whatever, you're not investing gold into like a 2-star elf hunter or whatever that's going to cost you gold later.
Yeah, sure. So the 3-star Scourge that you mentioned, that would be the key piece in terms of shutting down a Sword Dancer?
Yes, because he stuns for 2.5 seconds on a 5-second cooldown.
Yep. Which we were talking about earlier when comparing Siren and Scourge as both great Sword Dancer stoppers. It's going to
Sword
be...
Dancer's not able to attack. She not only does she just get her shield taken off because she's stunned, she can't regenerate the shield because she's stun locked. So she actually gets to points where she's taking damage instead of just infinitely recasting the shield.
Yeah. So in terms... Sorry, go on.
3-star Sword Dancer can infinitely cast the shield without taking any damage.
3-star Sword Dancer is probably the scariest thing in this game. Ruan in chat asked if you got any thoughts on 2 Warlock versus 4 Warlock.
It depends on the build. 4 Warlock in builds with characters such as Berserker is okay, because Berserker is doing like 1,000 damage a hit on a half-second cooldown or a half-second auto, so it's like 2,000 damage every second, and 25% of that is like 500 health.
Yeah.
But if you're playing with like a bunch of 2-star warriors that have like 300 attack, 4 Warlock isn't adding a big enough increase.
So it looks like Maxi D just barely escapes with another win. It's going to be close, but he will get it because of the 2-star. Warrior in chat also. Still get 3 Elf, 2 Warlock, 2 Undead. Have to use Nether Prince though, so Void Doom is only negative. I think that was referring to an earlier question I had about Rider Punisher. Turbo honestly feels a lot more RNG reliant than before the damage changes. Classic wasn't affected as much, but you can die so fast in Turbo now, like 5 to 7 losses. Yeah, it's definitely not back to where it was because you're still taking extra damage from the character after round 10, but it's certainly better than when it was just a static 2 extra damage every loss. That really, really sucked for Turbo.
I think he's more referring to every round being live battles.
That as well, so it's a combination. That shortens the game because at least 4 people are taking damage every round, but then also taking the extra damage shortens the game even further. So it's definitely... Turbo's in a very interesting position, but I do agree that it's... Any shortening of such a fast game mode means that you have less time to use skill to come back from a bad luck start.
I smell magic.
I think it's fine to leave the extra damage in Turbo. Like their original advertisement was like 10-minute Turbo game.
Yeah.
So I don't think the game is healthy if it's a 10-minute game for the winning person. I think a 10-minute game for the losing person is fine. But
yes.
if a winning person's winning in 10 minutes, then it's definitely not healthy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Ideally, you don't want to be losing, so you don't ever want to be playing 10-minute games. But Warrior says way better than before, but still all the changes together make use to match up against Slays. We're at round 8, and this is the third time that he's been dealing a chunk of damage to Slays. So Slays not enjoying the Max Yeti matchups right now.
I will safeguard Ellenly.
So we have 3 in the 70s in terms of health now, but everyone's still looking okay. Let's have a quick look at the overview. Everyone at level 6 apart from Slays. Guts just got 3 Assassins, 2 Beasts on the board. Quite a few 2-stars as well. Slays is actually rocking 5 2-star heroes, but he doesn't have great combos at this point.
Max learned from last time. He's got 2 unicorns on there, but he dares not put the dagger on the unicorn over here in my rat.
So is the dagger currently still on the Nightingale? Okay. So a unit that I've actually used to love quite a bit, but lost a little bit of love for, is Famine, which Max is currently using. The longer she stays alive, the more damage she deals, but it's just such a small increment. It's only 10 additional damage for each hero that dies, and it caps out at such a small number of increments as well. Once this round officially ends, we can go in and check the official numbers. But I believe at 2-star, it's only 8 increments, which is 80 additional damage. Let me just confirm that here. Yeah, so the passive for Famine gains 10 attack damage for every unit killed in battle, stacks up to 6, 8, or 10 times. So at a 2-star, you're only gaining 80 damage at the end, which isn't really that much. It's only a couple of great swords.
Yeah, part of how I'm planning like the next balance patch, if I got to talk to the balance team, would be hunters get 40 at 4, so that there's no power trough where they're stuck with like this 20% buff that does nothing.
Yeah.
At 2, and then like this super big one at 6, and Famine getting some kind of attack speed increase as well, because getting all that attack doesn't do anything if he's getting off 1 attack. Like,
yeah,
he can gain 1,000 attack if he's getting 1 attack off at the end of the round with 1,000 extra attack. It's not gonna matter. He needs to be able to get like 3 or 4 attacks off with the increased attack.
Yeah. So Max did just do a re-equip there and did add a greatsword to Famine. So I just checked. The adjusted greatsword is actually 80 damage that you get. So Famine's entire ability at 2-star is just 1 greatsword, which is really not that significant.
Okay. Now the item should be on Unicorn, not Famine.
Now that Unicorn's a 2-star, and he has made that change. He must be listening to you.
Ooh, I don't agree with the Steel Fist having 2 defensive items on it. Steel Fist is a CC unit, so you want its ability to go off ASAP.
Yeah. And that's a quick cooldown. It's like 5 seconds or something, if I remember correctly. Oh, no.
No,
that's Ground Smasher. I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
I'm always at
It's still a 10-second cooldown, so he's only ever going to get it off once, but the faster you're stunning, the longer your units stay alive, so...
So I think it's interesting to note that 2 of the cyborgs in Steel Fist and Bionic Ninja do actually have a stun. It's often overlooked. We'll just click on the Bionic Ninja here. Although it doesn't say it, and this is why it's overlooked, it doesn't say it for Bionic Ninja in-game. You actually have to go into the hero book to realise that. Does it say it for Steel Fist in-game? It does mention the stun here, but not for Bionic Ninja, who has a slight stun. I think it's a half-second stun.
Bionic Ninja is the 0.75 as well. And
Okay.
it shows in-game.
It does, I missed it.
Yesterday when I was looking at it, yeah.
Right.
I think the defense items for Max Siege should be on Unicorn and the dagger should be removed. Because the Unicorn has a flat attack speed of 1.2, so adding the 20 is only like dropping it by 1.
Yeah.
So it's not making much of a difference, and having the two armor items at 2 would keep the Unicorn alive longer.
Yeah. And once again, because it's a passive, it doesn't slow down the ability.
Yeah.
Choco in chat, do hope that brings some love to Hunters, more diversity and comp routes. Yeah, absolutely. Warrior saying Steel Fist stun is so good for interrupting alt casts as well. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I had to Steel Fist cancel my Nether Prince 5 times and I was pissed.
That's amazing. So we have CeeLo first, down under 50 health. Building Druid Elves at this point in time. We'll continue to check in on Max at this point in time as he has lost a couple, now down to 89 health. Max up against Dapley.
Yeah, Max went to 50 gold and just kept his build flexible, so he still got the Nightingales, so he could easily switch to Punisher.
I'll tell you what, he's still going to get the win here as well.
Yeah, he's only at 3 riders, so he's not like committed. If he sells off Unicorn or keeps Unicorn and goes to like 6 elf or something, he's not losing any gold. Really.
Yeah. But in terms of economy, Nasty and Nate also up to 40, but Max in such a strong position. Level 7, equal highest, and significantly more crystals than almost everyone else. Flexible options on his bench. They're looking pretty good early. CeeLo has found his 6 elf, I should say. I'm actually going to watch the battle on CeeLo's board this round and see how his 6 elf comp is holding up at this stage against Guts. Guts rocking warriors. And he does have 6 warriors too. Even though CeeLo has more 2-stars, I just don't think it's enough to deal with the strength coming out of the warriors. Flamecaller in the back there doing a fair chunk of damage as well. Here comes the General of War. Bang, that is game over. 10 additional health loss for CeeLo, unfortunately.
Max won his board pretty convincingly too, so he doesn't have to stress. Stay above 50.
Retook number 1 position.
He's got the 4 rider now, so he's probably going to do his rider 2 Oceanborn build.
So in that build, you're taking out the Famine, obviously, and replacing that as one of your hunters with Kraken and Shakaraka once you find them.
Yeah. At this point, 4 riders is probably better than a Steel Fist. So I would have Dragoon in there instead of Steel Fist at this point.
Yeah. So there we go. My server just DC'd again, but we're back in game. Good day, Shino. Welcome to the stream.
3 Shocking Daggers? Okay. I thought he was going to have 4 for Unicorn already. That would have been pretty busted.
He does find some starves here.
Yeah. Oh, he's got not having the tank items on Unicorn, especially with now that he's got 3 armors. There's another filter.
They've still got those on a Steel Fist who should be replaced now. There's the 4 riders. So Warrior in chat says that Guts is getting quite strong too. Yeah, 6 Warrior. Just had 4 humans on the board momentarily, but has removed... Oh, there it is. 4 humans again. So it looks like Guts may actually be preparing to transition from 6 warriors to human riders with Sorks as well.
I would go 6 human, 3 warrior, 3 swords. But I've played that build a ton. It's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. I've never actually played it with warriors. I've always played that with riders because obviously you have both Dragoon and Templar Knight as humans, but you obviously have both Werewolf and General of War as warriors, so definitely do have that option. Yeah. Unfortunately, loses against Nasty and Nate there.
I think I do it 4 warriors with Dragoon by itself.
Yeah.
Because the 2 rider buff is pretty useless.
So Templar Knight's the 1 human you're not using?
Yeah.
Yep.
I end up usually having Ice Tusk, Werewolf, General War, and Berserker. I use Voodoo Elder and Misfortune, and then Lightbringer, Frost Lotus, Flamecaller.
Yeah. You want those, the free sorcerer combo, essentially.
Yeah. And you get Goblin, you get Warlock, you get Human, you get Beast. So you're just gaining your mana as fast as possible, efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
Like obviously if you had 6 or you got the 6 human, plus you're getting more attack speed, you're getting more attack damage, you're lowering their armor, so you're just getting your spells super quick without needing mana items really. Like you can play that game without mana items and still probably get your Lightbringer off faster than most people.
Which is pretty scary. Now Warrior does say in chat double Kraken, so I'm just trying to figure out who it is that has that double Kraken at this point. I'm guessing it's Nate, but he might have just taken one back off the board. Let me have a look. Yes, he's got one on the board, one on the bench now.
Now I can run even faster.
So Nate going all in on the hunters here as well. Just 2-starred the Forest Breath. Doesn't have her out yet, but he does have 4 hunters currently out on the board. Very interesting.
He's got 6 hunters.
Yeah. Can he find... There we go. He's now got 6 on the board. Let's watch this. Let's see how the 6 hunters match up against Slays. Slays is in, or down to 35 health. Nasty and Nate on 45. So both are in a little bit of early trouble, but can certainly turn it around.
This right here is the other problem with hunters is it's not a flat attack buff, it's percentage based.
Yeah.
So when you're stuck like this with a bunch of 1-star hunters, it's almost like having no buff. Because 80% of 100 is like 80 attack damage. It's a great sword.
Which doesn't do a whole lot against a 2-star hero.
80% of 600 on the other hand, like if you had a 3-star hog, that's a real buff.
Yeah.
But
so it's probably one there that you're not trying to get 6 hunters until you've 2-starred them all and it's towards the end game. But based on what he's got on his bench, he doesn't have too many better options now anyway.
Yeah.
We'll watch CeeLo now as the 6 elf 4 druid 2 beast. He's in a lot of trouble. Down to 19 health. He just hasn't been able to 3-star anything, which is really what you want to be doing as a druid player. So he hasn't overrun anyone in terms of sheer hero power, and it's looking very, very risky at this point in time. Oh no, bad matchup. Lightbringer, General of War. This round is about to be over.
Barely.
Will it be enough damage to kill him? Probably not. Actually, the 2-star Sword Dancer is going to sustain for long enough, and he will actually barely survive that with 2 heroes on the board. So, correct me, as my initial statement there that it was going to lose, but he did manage to survive it. Todorallo, welcome to the stream.
I thought Nasty Nate made a... I still think it's a mistake, but he managed to win anyway. But he put a 1-star Voodoo Elder for Warlock in instead of Scourge. With, again, having a bunch of units that got like 100 attack damage and gaining 13 health on attack for his Warlock and his Goblin buff. Like,
right, so the Warlock isn't doing a whole lot.
Scourge 2-star tank is way more efficient.
Yeah. Now, when you look at the overview, and then it's a creep round, I'll bring it up. No one is rocking assassins, as Nasty Nate does say in chat. That is quite unique, that at this point in the game, there is no assassin combo. Well, actually, this is an interesting point as well. Sometimes they can be hidden. Sometimes they can be a third combo that's actually pushed off the overview screen. So let's do a manual check. Is anyone rocking 3 assassins on their screen? Doesn't look like it at this point. So we have 2 very much in danger of elimination. Yeah, so no one rocking 3 assassins.
Guts did do the 6 human 3 warrior. He's going 2 riders though instead. So he's not going to get the Goblin buff. And I still think Werewolf might be better than 1-star Executioner.
I'm watching CeeLo's board now. Matched up against the loss. Once again, basically has to win on out from here to avoid elimination. But the Lightbringer cast coming through and dealing so much damage. He does have a 3-star Witch Doctor now. Incoming another General of War Stun. I think it's going to be enough. The 2-star Sword Dancer, too strong at this stage. So CeeLo manages to survive. The other one that was in trouble is Slays, who goes down to 7 health now. And does have 3 assassins. Good pick up there, Ruan. Only a 1-star Sword Dancer, though. That's going to be an issue. So at this point in time, probably needs to sell some items off the bench. Slays probably needs to go all in, right, and start selling bench items to try and find that 2-star Sword Dancer. There it is. 2-star Sword Dancer just in time. He sold a General of War to get it, but that was definitely the right play.
I think Guts just lost himself the ability to win the game. He pushed 9 without eating too, and cost all his money
blew
to
up
do
his
it.
economy.
Yeah. Like he lost just barely, and like he panic pushed.
Right.
And, well, I'll do it too. So like I'm not immune to my own criticism, but that's why I know he's just lost himself the game because Max D went to 9 without panicking and still has full eco.
Yeah, and Slays did actually just beat Guts there. So Slays manages to stay alive another round. We still have a full complement of 8 players.
So like Guts wasted all his eco and still lost the round. Just to put like Werewolf in. He could have put Werewolf back in instead of Executioner. I think he might have won that round if he had it that way. He's just like Executioner is so much better than like Werewolf as a individual unit. And I think it's actually a very small margin that it's better than Werewolf, not like extreme margin.
Yeah.
And it would have gave Beast to all of his humans, so the humans would have got their abilities that little bit extra quicker. And I think he would have won the round.
Yeah, it was a close game, that's for sure. So I'm watching Guts' board now, matched up against a loss. Lightbringer cast from both sides. There's the Apocalypse.
Dark Mage though. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's going to be another loss for Guts, unfortunately. Another 11 damage coming through. Let's check in on Slays. Oh no, unfortunately CeeLo has eliminated Slays from the game. CeeLo also down to 10 health. So the Elves are surviving, but barely. Now, a question for you. On CeeLo's board, he's looking to 2-star that Forest Breath. Who does Forest Breath replace at this stage in the game? What elf comes out? Actually, scratch that. He just sold them.
I think Evergreen could have come out.
He just sold both anyway, so...
yeah.
Okay, so we get to see CeeLo versus Guts this time around. The fact that all of Guts' human sorcerers are only 1-star is definitely going to be an issue going forward from this stage onward, as we're definitely in the mid-game now. Although, it's going to be enough damage, I think. It's just got to deal with that 2-star Sword Dancer. Can he do it? Does he have enough surviving units?
That should work. He's got 2 ice tests, which can't be dodged. So.
There we go. The Frostload is slowing her as well, which is always helpful. So that will be it for CeeLo, unfortunately. Nasty Innate next on the bubble, down to 7 health. Does get a breather against the Scarlet Lords, though. Warrior, yes. I will watch... Yes, let's watch Max. He's got 4 daggers on Warrior on the Unicorn, so let's see how that looks in terms of damage here.
Nate's got 6 Hunter, 2 Rider, Goblin, Warlock. Yeah, he might be okay. He's at 7 health. Okay, he just got Shark Rocket too.
Oh, so he's got both the Oceanborn Hunters now.
Yeah, Nate's in a pretty strong position.
So he's definitely in a position to turn it around. He just has to avoid bad luck, essentially. Now, do we get to... Can we see DPS charts as an observer? That's an interesting one.
No. I have the bar pulled out and it doesn't show.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, it shows, I guess, if you're watching the match. I think I've seen it.
Let's go make something creative.
The only thing is, like, he's got no front line, so... That's why I'd rather him be on 6 Rider than 6 Hunter.
You're talking about Nate, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to watch Maxi D's board just to see how much damage this Unicorn does with 4 daggers, see if she's still broken. Here's a 2-star Scourge, so Max is looking to 3-star. Oh, he's got the 2-star Guru there as well. There is the 3-star Scourge. So we have our Sword Dancer stopper. It's going to be Max versus a loss. Unable to see any DPS chart, unfortunately. I think you're spot on, though. Needs to be equipping that Unicorn Cavalry with the defensive items. It's going to not really factor into this game, as he will beat a loss there. How is Nate doing? Nate significantly surviving. Oh my goodness. So Ayush next out, unfortunately. That was either versus Guts or Dapley. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't see that matchup. Oh, let's watch these hunters put in work.
Why did I have to turn to Max's board? He's got 4 armors on 1-star Templar Knight instead of his Scourge. What is he doing?
He's playing like I play. That's what he's doing. That's a very typical sort of move from me as well.
Why do I have to play with Max in the the co-op tournament?
Alright, so we do have a mirror image in play, and Max is lucky enough to be facing the mirror image. So let's check out this Hunter damage coming through. There's the Kraken stun. There's the Shakaraka stun. For those that weren't aware, both those stuns are currently bugged and affect the entire board, not just the animated area. And there is the fantastic win animation coming through from Shakaraka, jumping up and down on his ankle like it is a pogo stick. So Nasty and Nate now on a couple of game win streak. I think that'll be 3 games now that round has ended, or just a 2. Once the round ends, it will be 3-game win streak.
I don't even think he should have the 4 daggers on Unicorn. I don't think the effect works. He should have 4 daggers on Dragoon and 4 armors on Dragoon.
What about 4 daggers on the 3-star Scourge? Is there an argument to be made?
There is merit to it because it's got 1120 attack when it starts a battle. I don't know how much Dragoons are going to have when he transforms.
Once he transforms, yeah. It'd be nice if you could see that information. Oh my goodness. Sorcerer's
with the splash damage though.
Sorcerer's ripping through the hunters here, but I think it's going to be enough. Nasty Nate eliminates Guts, so we now have our top 4. 1 more elimination, and then we have our prize winners. Max, Dapley, Alos, and Nate.
What's he against? Warriors.
This is so fascinating.
And hunters.
6 rider, 6. Yeah, okay. The fact that we're looking at a final 4: 6 riders, 6 warriors, 6 sorcerers, and 6 hunters, and there's no assassins.
No, I'm wrong. They should be on Dragon. Both 2 of the opponents are squishy, so having them on the AoE champion is better.
We get to see Max versus Nate here. This should be an interesting battle. Look at all of the stunned animations coming through. Need as much stun as possible for the hunters to put in work, but it's not going to be long enough. And Max is going to overrun Nate there and eliminate Nate in 4th position, unfortunately. So we have our final 3, which is great news for Dapley. After not making the final round last tournament, he's guaranteed a prize placing position this time around. Just a matter of sorting out who wins. Can Max lose from here, or is he in an unlosable position at this stage?
I think it's unlosable, but he can make it a lot more unlosable.
With some item adjustments?
Yeah, he's got 3 spellbanes on his Scourge too, so his Dragoon could be 4 daggers, 4 spellbane, 4 armor, because I'm assuming.
Which means he would be transforming way quicker.
Way quicker.
Dealing extra damage.
He'd be like invincible to being killed. He'd be doing splash damage. Yeah, there's a 4 spellbane. Yeah.
So Dapley managed to pick up a couple. Dapley's now got 6 shocking daggers to equip. I'm assuming 3 of those are going. In fact, all of them. He's putting all of them on the Berserker. So Berserker is now rocking 6 daggers. I'm going to continue watching Dapley's board as he's only on 3 health.
His opponents are sorcerers and hunters. Sorcerers and warriors. So against the warriors, being on Scourge is a little better. Because like the splash damage against all that armor isn't going to do much, but against the sorcerers, being on Dragoon is better, and it's not so much worse against the warriors that he should definitely have them on Dragoon until the sorcerers die, and then once the sorcerers die, he should have them on Scourge.
Oh my goodness. The 3-star Scourge is going to win it here for Max, dealing a loss and damage there. Max was actually DC'd for that entire battle, interestingly enough. Dapley was fortunate enough to have the mirror match, so we now have Dapley and a loss both on 3 health remaining.
Max should just pump up and put Hog Rider in as far as I'm concerned. He's staying at 50, and like it would cost him 1 eco to have a Hog Rider in there that's got...
Yeah. Which just guarantees he's winning by even more. Yeah. All right, I'm going to watch Alos's board here, or Dapley, depending on who gets the mirror match, but one of them, unless they match up against each other, which they do. Oh my gosh, Max lucking out again. So Alos or Dapley will be eliminated here. There's no avoiding it. It is looking like Alos is going to have way too much damage coming out of those sorcerers though. So Dapley finishing in 3rd place, and we're going to have a showdown between Max and Alos for the win. And Alos cannot afford a single lost battle. He has to win out from here to take the tournament. Max obviously has some wiggle room.
This is where he thinks the 465 attacks Unicorn versus 775 attack dragoons to somehow get the force shocking.
I know how
He's rocking 2 calamities. Got that 3-star Triceratops rider.
I can see the argument for Scourge having the Spellbanes because it's actually going to... What the heck did he just do? He broke 6 riders with the Kraken against sorcerers that are either going to kill you or they're not.
Yeah, that may have been a misplay there. He's getting absolutely melted by those sorcerers. So a loss survives, takes Max down to 41 health.
The stuns... Oh, he's still got 2 calamities in. What is he doing? All the calamities are going to put Kraken in at least.
I think he just went to... so he's at level 10. What is he doing? There we go. He's figured it out. He's figured it out. He was just looking... I guess he was looking for the hero that he had doubled up.
Yeah.
So...
I still don't think like the Kraken is better than having Calamity in there. The Kraken's not giving Oceanborn, so...
And the Calamity will also be getting additional armor and magic resist.
Yeah. And
A loss needs to put Starhorn right in front of the enemy. Yes, that is a very good point. Get that silence happening as soon as possible. Now, look at the difference that those 6 riders is making. It still might not be enough, though.
Because,
although...
Especially... It's going to be enough, but...
It is going to be
like
enough.
The
3-star Scourge.
If the Kraken stuns, like... It's probably after the human, or after the sorcerers have done their damage, so it's almost irrelevant.
It's too... Yeah. Unless you frontline it. So that is the game. Unfortunately, a loss had to win out from there, and he wasn't able to. So does still finish in 2nd place, Dapley in 3rd, and congratulations to Max on winning today's Double Trouble tournament. There's a quick look at the final builds as well.
Yeah, but not only is the stun irrelevant, but the 6 riders have that magic resist, so you're having another unit on the board that has a chance of surviving the burst.
Right, yes,
on top of
course.
the stun being irrelevant.
And these are the sort of next level plays that I certainly am not able to see. So it's always awesome having you as part of the casting team to make those sorts of observations. So thank you once again for stopping by today's tournament and co-casting with me, Chaos.
I would have told you. I told you I would have woke up at 5 a.m. casting and went back to sleep. But you're like, no, sleep.
No, well, it actually worked out okay because I ended up playing in the first round as we were 1 player down. But no, don't want to interrupt the sleep schedule too much. So we do this often enough that you don't have to hit every single one. But certainly, I'm sure that those viewing certainly appreciate it as well, as you're always able to offer much more insightful information as I am. Nasty Innate says, I like to frontline Kraken against Sork since the stun usually hits right as Lightbringer starts channeling. Good game to everybody. For those that would like to join future tournaments, I'm just going to drop the Discord command in chat. Go ahead and sign up to my Discord. All the details are in there. Free to enter.
I don't know if Kraken stops Lightbringer. Lightbringer has to take that extra time to shoot her bullet, but Kraken also takes that extra wind up to get to the point where it's actually stunning.
Right.
And with the human plus a certain amount of spellbanes, Kraken's never going to stop it. There's definitely a spellbane breaking point where Lightbringer will cast first, no matter where Kraken is on the board.
And if she gets interrupted, she just auto casts as well. So is a stun considered an interruption, or does that pause her casting? I'm not actually sure.
It should force the cast.
Okay. It does interrupt it.
Yeah, it's not gonna like make her restart. So like even if it forced the cast early, I guess that stops some of the damage. But I still think there's a point where enough spellbanes will make it so that there's no chance that the stun happens first.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a loss in chat. I waited too much time to play Sorceress on a tourney because there's always a bunch of assassins. This time I could enjoy, and absolutely, I cannot believe that we only had 1 assassin player and they were first eliminated. So no sword dancers. Unreal. All right. Thank you to everyone for watching. Once again, big thank you to you, Chaos, for co-casting. And until next time, I will see you later. And if you want to do your sign-off as well, Chaos, we'll wrap the tourney up.
I have a sign-off?
I don't know. Do you?
Yeah. Chat. See you later.
There we go. See you later.